Hello, welcome to HITC Sport. Alright, let's take a look at every month of 2019 and see what was the biggest overreaction in football. Oh, by the way, lads, try and hit 400k as quickly as possible. If you could smash the subscribe with notifications turned on, you would be the greatest person in the world. January, Spygate. Remember Spygate? When Marcelo Bielsa spent the weekend camping outside Derby County's training ground, sleeping in the bushes, living off a diet of acorns, leaves and empty condom packets. Not only was this man spying on Frank Lampard's sacred master tactics, the lad was also seen peering through his wife's bedroom. Isn't that right? I mean, judging by the reaction in the British media, you'd swear that was what he was doing, but no. All Bielsa did was just send one club scout to a Derby training session to see what he could gather. It's not as if this was some secret, covert, undercover MI5 operation. I mean, calm down, lads. It's not like he was tapping Frank's phone. It was literally one tactical analyst hopping along to the training ground with a notepad and pen. It hardly warrants a prison sentence. It's not as if he was peeking in the River Island changing room, which I hear is actually wrong. Yeah, maybe it wasn't very sportsmanlike, but Frank Lampard's reaction, you'd swear he'd sniffed his wife's socks.
I'd rather not coach than send people undercover on their hands and knees with pliers and bolt cutters to go and look at the opposition because I respect the opposition.
This is common practice in South America. Not only did he admit it, he brazenly told the press that he actually spies on every team. I mean, fair play for the honesty. And for Frank Lampard to suddenly take the moral high ground when this actually went on at Chelsea, I mean, this is what Andre Villas-Boas said about his scouting role at Stamford Bridge.
Mourinho knew the smallest detail could be the difference between winning and losing. The full dossier for the Newcastle game back in 2005, for example, contained 24 graphics. My work enables Jose to know exactly when player from the opposition team is likely to be at his best or his weakest. I will travel to training grounds, often incognito, and look at our opponent's mental and physical state before drawing my conclusions. Jose will leave nothing to chance.
Right. Lampard, you worked under both of these managers for the best part of 6 years. Are you telling me, hand on heart, you had no clue this was going on at your club? You, the club vice captain. Villas-Boas has admitted spying, and still Lampard is hanging on to this. 9 months later, when he was questioning why Bielsa was winning the FIFA Fair Play Award. Lad, move on. You beat Leeds in the playoffs. You got your dream move to Chelsea. Leave Bielsa be. February, Brendan Rodgers quit Celtic. Remember when Brendan Rodgers decided to walk out on Celtic for Leicester back in February? Remember the fallout, the ingratitude. Suddenly we had tens of thousands of Celtic fans calling him a fat wanker who only cares about the depth of his bank account. Lads, this is a fellow who was on the verge of leading you to 3 trebles in a row. This man should have god status in Glasgow forevermore. Glaswegians should be queued up to kiss this man's feet, water his houseplants, scrape the dead skin off his feet, anything, because this man, he should be a saviour. I know winning trophies in Scotland is a bit like playing tennis with the net down. I mean, beating the mighty Aberdeen and Hibs in finals, a bit like beating up a small child. But still, 8 trophies, on the way to a 9th, and you're gonna demand a crucifixion for him taking a job in the Premier League.
You traded immortality for mediocrity.
Being immortal in Scotland is like winning a spelling bee in Blackpool. Mediocrity, I mean, he's second in the Premier League going into Christmas. Climbing above Man City in the league, despite having sold your best player in the summer? I'm sorry, what mediocrity is this exactly?
Never a Celt, always a fraud.
Do you think managers don't jump ship? True Celtic fans would never leave the club? Tell that to Neil Lennon, the man whose poster you probably kiss every night before bed. He was so bored of winning every week up north that he left you for Bolton. Any man that would commit to buying a house in Bolton, a city that looks like it was wiped out by an atomic bomb, clearly they were very unhappy in their last job.
Targeting a cup in European football with Leicester. Good luck there, pal.
Boy, will this look silly in 5 months.
He actually makes me sick. FFS. I hope that rat steps on a plug tomorrow morning getting out of bed.
That's a bit too far, isn't it?
Praying Leicester get relegated now.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Dear Brendan Rodgers, we always show our true colours in life. Well, you showed yours. You accepted the job and responsibility that came with it. To Celtic fans and even your own family, you jumped ship at a crucial time for your own selfish ways. Disappointed, disgusted, you are a disgrace. Gianni Capaldi.
I'm not sure who Gianni Capaldi is and what sort of ungodly favours he had to do to get his hand on a blue tick, but what I will say is that he clearly has the literacy skills of a decomposing postbox. If you're trying to be taken seriously as a film producer, maybe don't tweet like a hormonal 13-year-old girl. Christ, you swear someone died, lads. Rodgers was a good manager, yes, but you're still the best team in Scotland. You could have stuck the local parish priest in charge of that team and he'd have still won you a few leagues. This was the most undignified breakup. Yes, your wife has left you for some southern banker in the Midlands, but don't threaten to burn down her house. Don't pray that she dies in her sleep, and certainly don't mail her chunks of your cat in the post. Rodgers has done what 90% of football managers with a shred of ambition do. Say yes to a better job opportunity. It's not even a year later and he's comfortably in the top 4. Linked with the Arsenal job and probably going to win Manager of the Year. Up in Scotland, it didn't matter what he did, he was still perceived to be a walking joke in England. Still tired by that 6-1 defeat to Stoke. I think we can all agree he's made a good career decision. March, PSG win.
Man United might not thank me, but get the contract out, put it on the table, yeah. Let him sign it, let him write whatever numbers he wants to put on there, give him what he's done now since he's come in, and let him sign the contract and go. Ollie's at the wheel, man, he's doing it, he's doing his thing. Man United are back. Man United are back.
Oh yeah. You hate to see it. Listen, credit where it's due, alright? Overturning a 2-0 deficit against PSG in the Champions League to score 3 goals in Paris and qualify for the Champions League quarterfinals. Well done! Very good stuff. I mean, let's just ignore the fact that your last gasp penalty decision was one of the worst I've ever seen. But this was the worst thing to happen to Manchester United Football Club this year. This was what fooled everyone into thinking that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, some Cardiff reject plucked straight out of mould, had magically fixed the club in 3 months. Had United actually crashed out, then no, Ole wouldn't have been given the permanent job. And honestly, now you'd probably have Mauricio Pochettino at the helm. Lads, yes, you beat PSG, they have some great players. But have you not been paying attention to that shower over the last couple of years? They're the kings of chucking away first leg leads. They have the composure and mental fortitude of a dying squirrel. Don't give your manager a 3-year deal based on that. Next you'll be giving Jesse Lingard 5-year contracts based on the width of his smile. Oh wait. That's exactly what you did. April Man City VAR. Remember back in April when Raheem Sterling scored a last-minute winner at home to Spurs to see the club hurtle into the Champions League semi-finals.
Amazing! I can't breathe! Raheem! Yes! Wow!
And then VAR rules it out for offside. Correctly, I might add.
Corrupt, corrupt, corrupt! This game is bent! I'm done. No way will I attend another game. I'm giving up on football. This is the end for me. Corruption, I want no further part of it. I first went to City in 1978 and I've had a season ticket since then. Tonight is the end.
Are you serious? You've been a season ticket for 30 odd years. And this because of one decision which clearly deemed you offside. You're just giving up the sport. This is the epitome of spoiled. Man City has no divine right to even sniff a Champions League trophy. It's because of one wealthy billionaire's spontaneous decision back in 2008 that you no longer spend your Wednesday nights watching EastEnders with your hand shoved right down your pants. And because of one decision where Sergio Aguero was rightly adjudged to being offside, you're chucking in the season ticket. This was the only competition you didn't win last season. Go back 12 years and you'd be lucky if you scored another home goal the other side of Christmas. Ridiculous. May Newcastle takeover. Oh lads, this was just sad. Remember back in June, when finally it looked like Mike Ashley's pie-eating reign of terror would finally be over. News stories were breaking, the club were to be sold to a wealthy billionaire, a sheikh involved with the Man City takeover, and we're going to appoint Jose Mourinho.
Kylian Mbappe and Real Madrid duo back to join Magpies.
This was just cruel. It's like going down to the local orphanage and telling them one by one that they've all been adopted by a family of wealthy billionaires. It's like going to a Comic-Con convention and telling everyone that in the next week they're going to lose their virginities. It's just cruel. Why get their hopes up like this? Newcastle fans were so desperate to believe this that they actually let themselves. You even had some fans looking over their shoulders at Mourinho, despite having Rafa Benitez already at the helm. What actually happened was no takeover, Rafa goes to China and the fans end up with Steve Bruce. Half the fan base looked like they were ready to cry.
Rafa Benitez is gone.
June, Jesse Lingard video. Remember when Jesse Lingard posted a Snapchat video of him and his mates on holiday? Now, if any of you are over the age of 12, you probably haven't seen it.
Barroom! Barroom! Seeing a lot of shit in this room, Banter! It's Marcus Rashford's room! Oh, I've seen a lot of shit! Oh, views! Views! Look at the views!
But don't get me wrong, right? I'd rather drink a litre of Calpol through my goddamn nose than look at whatever useless dross that fella posts online. But lads, it's not like the world ended. Judging by the media's reaction, it's where he just chucked the canteen lady in front of a moving train.
Jesse Lingard's Snapchat video has brought shame on Manchester United and they should sell him or sack him.
Well, they have, right? And United should definitely sell Lingard. They should have sold him many years ago. But more due to the fact that he has the end product of a dirty sock. Not so much what he posts on Snapchat. July, Steve Bruce appointment. Hello, man's up on this one, lads. I also thought Steve Bruce was a horrific appointment at Newcastle United. Nearly everyone on planet Earth probably did. Here was their public reaction.
Are there any positives of Steve Bruce becoming the Newcastle manager?
No.
Nah. Steve Bruce, ex-Macam Bruce.
I've just bought myself a nice British Savoy cabbage.
We're going from Rafa Benitez to him.
I didn't even want Bruce here when he got announced, bruv.
I mean, what am I actually going to do with this cabbage? Probably not, because I don't eat cabbage.
To be fair, lads, Bruce has actually started pretty well at Newcastle this season. Maybe everyone, including myself, sort of did overreact a bit. August, Tammy Abraham abuse. Look, I'm not going to rifle through the internet to find all the racial slurs that were chucked at Tammy Abraham's head after his penalty miss against Liverpool back in August. But it wasn't just those mindless brain-dead barbs. No, there were men claiming that he just wasn't good enough for the club. How he was never, in the month of Sundays, ever going to be good enough for Chelsea. Poor lad was receiving death threats for missing a spot kick from 12 yards in a one-off game against Liverpool. Are we serious? It was absolutely disgusting. Not just the racial abuse, which obviously was abhorrent. Not just the fans making his mother cry, but the complete lack of belief and support for a 21-year-old, lifelong Chelsea fan finally seizing his moment in the first team. We should have been backing him from day one, instead of backing him up, supporting him when he needs it most, for the most critical time in his life. Half the fan base threw him under a virtual bus, writing him off as the second coming of Jason Roberts. September, VAR.
The game is ruined. VAR has killed the sport. When are we ever going to see a player celebrate a goal again? I can't live like this.
I feel like September was the one. This month was the one where people suddenly tossed their toys out of a pram and demanded that VAR be extinguished before it ruins the sport completely. Lads, VAR is in its infancy stages. It's the first goddamn season. Of course it's going to be rusty. Of course there's going to be teething problems. It's not going to be perfected initially. Just look at anything. I mean, did Stevie Wonder, one of the best-selling artists of the 20th century, did he bring out a flawless first album? No, it sounded like a bag of cats being used as a bowling ball. Did The Simpsons, greatest TV show ever made, did that have an earth-shattering first season? No, the characters look like they've been drawn by Michael J. Fox. VAR is new. Stop overreacting. Stop claiming it's going to destroy our sport. Yes, it needs to be worked on. No, it's not perfect. Well, lads, if it stops people like Thierry Henry unfairly ripping out the hearts of a nation with a simple flick of his hand, then I'm all for giving it a go. October, Granit Xhaka versus Arsenal fans. Again, I've spoken at length about this, but I'll just touch on it briefly. Arsenal fans demanding the public execution of Granit Xhaka for storming off the pitch and swearing at the fans. The way they've pilloried this man every week for the best part of half a decade, is it any wonder he's going to snap and push the breaking point? He's only human. Insulting his wife on Twitter because he didn't get off the pitch quick enough. Lads, come on. November, Gareth Bale flag. Oh, I could talk about the Joe Gomez Raheem Sterling canteen dust up, which was blown out of all proportions, not least by his own coach, but I've spoken at length about this one, so I'm going to touch on the Gareth Bale saga, which I haven't talked about. It goes like this, right? Gareth Bale is a man who came to Real Madrid at a time when they hadn't won the European Cup for 10 years. They'd also only just won 2 league titles since 2003. Fast forward 7 years, Bale has helped them to win 4 Champions Leagues, scoring 3 goals in the final, won a league title, a Copa del Rey, where he scored in the final, 3 Super Cups and 3 Club World Cups. He scored over 100 goals in 6.5 seasons. And what sort of thanks does he get? Instead of queuing up to kiss the feet of a man who scored a bicycle kick in a Champions League final, Madrid have just spent the 7 years kicking his car and booing him in the street. Let's not forget he's been publicly shunned by his manager, who openly told him to leave in the summer. He's had club legends chastising him in public, like Predrag Milhojvic, who said the only thing he thinks about is Wales, then golf, and after that Real Madrid. If I was Bale, I'd be pretty damn annoyed. So when Wales qualified for Euro 2020 last month, a jubilant Bale held aloft a banner taking the piss out of those comments. Wales, golf, Madrid. After all the ingratitude, the spoilt behaviour, and assumptions about his character of people he's never met, fair enough, have a little fun with it, why not? The way the Spanish media reacted, you'd swear Bale should be imprisoned for his sins. December, Moise Keane substitution. I don't know lads, I can really think of one for December. Maybe Duncan Ferguson dragging Moise Keane off after 18 minutes against Man United. Most of social media seem to be condemning him today, but I don't know, I didn't see the game, but I imagine Keane was terrible. He's been awful all season. Anyway, that's the end of the video, lads. Let me know in the comments section below, what do you think was the biggest overreaction in every month of the year? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while.